Reader, let me tell you about a single bright red stitch. It lived quietly, holding the cuff of a jacket together in a busy, humming factory. Among many, it felt proud, part of something important. But one day, a pair of sharp scissors appeared. Snip! In an instant, the stitch was cut loose. It tumbled through the air, away from the jacket, away from its purpose. The world spun, the factory's noise faded. The stitch landed in a dark, soft heap, a mountain of scraps. Surrounded by forgotten threads, it felt lost and alone. It gazed up at the distant lights, longing for belonging. Dreams of being on a hero's cape or a beautiful scarf flickered in its mind. But here in the scrap bin, those dreams seemed impossible. The little red stitch curled up, its color dimming with sorrow. It wondered if it would ever matter again. The world above moved on, perfect and complete. Down below, the stitch felt invisible. It missed the feeling of being needed. In the darkness it waited, hoping for a sign. Its story, it seemed, was over before it truly began. But sometimes, even lost things find a new beginning. Even in darkness, a voice can be a light. The stitch lay still, until a gentle voice rumbled nearby. "What have we here?" "A bit of red, looking rather blue," said an old, dented thimble. The stitch whispered, "I was supposed to be important." Thimble nodded. "Importance isn't always where you expect. Sometimes the smallest helpers do the biggest work." Suddenly, a sparkling sequin rolled closer. "Importance is being fabulous," it declared. "I'm Glint. I was meant for a ball gown, dazzling everyone." The stitch looked from wise Thimble to shiny Glint, feeling torn. "What am I for?" it asked. Thimble offered quiet comfort. Glint spun, catching the light. The stitch realized it didn't have to choose between usefulness and beauty. Maybe, just maybe it could be both, if it found the right place. In the company of new friends, hope flickered. Even in a scrap bin, purpose could be found. The scrap bin was no place to stay. Thimble warned, "We must leave before we're lost forever." Glint sparkled with excitement. The stitch trembled with fear. A gust of wind swept through as a worker opened a door. "Now!" Thimble urged, pushing a ball of lint to the edge. The trio climbed aboard and the wind lifted them up and out. For a moment they soared, flying past machines and needles, a tiny brave crew. The stitch felt a thrill it had never known. Their lint raft landed by a chair in a quiet corner. They were free, but the world was vast and new. The stitch looked back, grateful for the friends it had found. Adventure, it realized, didn't require a grand stage, just courage and company. Sometimes escape is the first step to finding where you belong. In a quiet corner, a woman sat mending a beloved teddy bear. The bear's chest had a tear, right where its heart should be. "No brown thread," she sighed, searching her box. The stitch watched, remembering its own emptiness. Glint tried to catch her eye. Thimble waited, wise and still. The stitch realized, to be loved was a different kind of importance. It wriggled into view, a bright red line against the floor. The woman smiled. What a perfect, strong little red thread. She threaded the stitch onto her needle and sewed the bear's heart. The red patch stood out, imperfect but bold. When she finished, the bear's heart shone with care. The stitch wasn't on a hero's cape or a fancy scarf, it was something better, a sign of love, ready for a child's hug. The little stitch finally belonged. Sometimes, the smallest things make the biggest difference. In mending a heart, the stitch found its own, and it had never felt so whole.